Hi friends, welcome back to Nitved Bioscience. Today's topic of discussion is beta oxidation of odd chain fatty acid. Oxidation of fatty acids means what? It is the catabolic process, breakdown process which is used to generate the ATP or energy. Okay, the fatty acids are stored in our body as a triglycerides. Okay, so whenever there is a long fasting stage and there is a depletion of the glycogen, then the beta oxidation or the oxidation of fatty acids will take place to generate energy. We had discussed the beta oxidation of even chain fatty acid. Let us take the example of palmitic acid. Palmitic acid, it is the 16 carbon compound molecules, 16 carbon containing fatty acids. So beta oxidation, we had seen the beta oxidation of even chain fatty acid. Example we will see palmitic acid. Palmitic acid is what? 16 carbon saturated fatty acid. It is a 16 carbon compound. And we know that what happened during the beta oxidation, in each cycle it will undergo the several cycle depending upon the chain length of the fatty acid. So if it is a 16 carbon, then it will undergo into the 7 cycles of beta oxidation. Yeah, 7 cycles of the breakdown or the beta oxidation will take place, and in each cycle acetyl CoA will be generated. Okay, so in each cycle, for example 16 carbon compound, it will undergo into the 7 cycle. Okay, in each cycle acetyl CoA will be produced. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CoA, and at last one more acetyl CoA will be left. Okay, acetyl CoA, it is a 2 carbon compound. So in each cycle 2 carbon atoms will be removed in the form of the acetyl CoA during the beta oxidation. Okay, so 7, and at last 1 will be left. Okay, because as 2 is removing, so at last we will left with the 2 carbon compound acetyl CoA. So total we will have the 8 acetyl CoA here, which is a 2 carbon compound because it is a even chain fatty acid. Yeah, and this, what is the fate of this acetyl CoA? This acetyl CoA, it will then enter into TCA cycle. Yeah, this is a brief idea of the even chain beta oxidation of the even chain fatty acids. Beta oxidation of the odd chain fatty acid also takes place in the similar way. Means all enzyme systems, everything is same. Yeah, it takes place in the same way. So for example, if we take the example of some fatty acid having the 17 carbon compound. Okay, so this will also undergo the 7 cycle of beta oxidation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In each cycle, acetyl CoA will be generated. Yeah, because carbon atoms will be removed, 2 carbon atoms will be removed in the form of acetyl CoA. So here we will get the 7 acetyl CoA in the 7 numbers. But what we had seen, at last 2 carbon atoms will be removed, so that is acetyl CoA. But here, as it is an odd chain fatty acid, so instead of the last product will not have the 2 carbon, instead it will have the 3 carbon, and the name of this compound is propionyl CoA, which is a 3 carbon compound. So this is the major difference between the beta oxidation of the even chain fatty acid and the odd chain fatty acids. In the even chain fatty acids, the end product we will get here is a acetyl CoA, which is a 2 carbon compound, but in the odd chain fatty acid, the end product which we will get is a 3 carbon compound. Alright, so during even chain fatty acid, we will get the acetyl CoA 2 carbon compound, which will then enter into TCA cycle. And during the odd chain fatty acid, during the beta oxidation of the odd chain fatty acid, which takes place in a similar way, we will get both acetyl CoA 2 carbon compound, which is again this also enter into TCA cycle, and which further it will help in the generation of ATP and propionyl CoA. This is a major difference between the even chain and the odd chain fatty acid. It will have the 2 carbon compound as well as the 3 carbon compound. Propionyl CoA, which is a 3 carbon compound. Got the difference? What is the difference? Major difference is here is the 2 carbon, and here we will get the additional 3 carbon compound. Now what will be the fate of propionyl CoA? This propionyl CoA, it will convert to succinyl CoA, and this succinyl CoA, it will then enter into TCA cycle, or it will contribute to TCA cycle. Okay, propionyl CoA will convert to succinyl CoA, and succinyl CoA will be convert to TCA cycle. Okay, so this is the major difference between the even chain fatty acid and the odd chain fatty acid. Now this propionyl CoA, it is the only fatty acid which is a gluconeogenic. What is gluconeogenesis? Gluconeogenesis is the synthesis of glucose in our body. Yeah, so this, when there is a depletion of the blood glucose level, so body will synthesize the glucose. Yeah, so there are many intermediates. So out of that, one of the intermediate which will contribute in the gluconeogenesis is the propionyl CoA. So propionyl CoA is the only fatty acid which will contribute in the gluconeogenesis. Let us see how. I hope you got the difference between beta oxidation of odd chain and the even chain fatty acid. Now we will see how this propionyl CoA is gluconeogenic. Suppose this is, we will see the TCA cycle. So what will happen here? Oxaloacetic acid, it will combine with the acetyl CoA. Okay, then we'll have the citrate, isocitrate, alpha ketoglutarate, yeah, many intermediates. Then succinyl CoA, then fumarate, malate, and then again we'll have the oxaloacetate. Okay, so this way TCA cycle will be operated. Oxaloacetate will combine with the acetyl CoA and it will generate the citrate. Now this acetyl CoA, it is a 2 carbon compound, and here while studying the Krebs cycle, you can watch my video lecture on the Krebs cycle. So what will happen? Before succinyl CoA step, both the carbon from the acetyl CoA will be removed in the form of carbon dioxide. So this acetyl CoA is not contributing further in the TCA cycle. Okay, from oxaloacetate, this oxaloacetate, then it will help in the gluconeogenesis. So what I am trying to say, both the carbon atoms from the acetyl CoA, it will be removed in the form of carbon dioxide. So if the cycle is, if it is utilizing in the gluconeogenesis, this carbon will not enter in the glucose. Yeah, because it is already removing in the form of carbon dioxide. But propionyl CoA, which is obtained from the beta oxidation of, just we had said the odd chain fatty acid. Okay, so this propionyl CoA, it will convert to succinyl CoA, and this succinyl CoA then enter into TCA cycle, and finally from the oxaloacetate and further the gluconeogenesis steps will take place. So the carbon from propionyl CoA, they are contributing in the gluconeogenesis. Okay, so that's why we can say that the propionyl CoA, it is the only fatty acid which is, or propionate, it is the only fatty acid which is helpful in the gluconeogenesis. Yeah, so this is the important things which can be asked in the MCQs. So this is all about the beta oxidation of the odd chain fatty acid. There are, we had discussed the beta oxidation, there are alpha oxidation and the omega oxidation. Alpha oxidation means what? Suppose, see, yeah, we'll rub everything. Okay, so what happens during the alpha oxidation? So this is the first carbon of some fatty acid, adjacent carbon is the alpha and the next is the beta. Okay, so if the methyl group is present at the beta carbon atoms, so this methyl group will block the beta oxidation. Therefore, such type of the fatty acids are undergo into alpha oxidations, where there is a removal of the 1,1 carbon atoms will takes place. Okay, 1,1 carbon atoms will be takes place here. Okay, and this way catabolism will take place, and there is a no need of the coenzyme A. Okay, and this alpha oxidation, it will not generate ATP. Okay, if you want to know more about the alpha oxidation and all these steps, you can follow my Facebook page as well by the name of Nitved Bioscience. So this is a brief idea about the alpha oxidation. Alpha oxidation takes place mainly in the brain and the liver. Okay, the site for the alpha oxidation is in the endoplasmic reticulum as well as in the peroxisome. Okay, so what is alpha oxidation? Alpha oxidation takes place when in the some fatty acid at the beta carbon, if the methyl group is present which will block the beta oxidation, then alpha oxidation will take place, where there is a removal of the 1,1 carbon atoms will takes place. Okay, shortening will take place by removing the 1,1 carbon atom instead of 2,2 carbon atoms which we had seen in the beta oxidation. And there is a one more oxidation, that is the omega oxidation. Omega oxidation means what? If the oxidation will take place from the omega end, that is the methyl end. Yes, suppose this is a N number. So this methyl end is known as a omega end. So if oxidation will take place from the omega end, then it is known as a omega oxidation. Alright, so this is all about the beta oxidation, alpha oxidation, omega oxidation. Yeah, one more oxidation is there, oxidation in the peroxisome. Which fatty acids undergo in the oxidation of peroxisomes, which is having the more than 22 carbon atoms, means very long chain fatty acids having the more than 22 carbon atoms. So the oxidation of those fatty acids will take place in the peroxisome. Yeah, and in other words, we can say that the very long chain fatty acids, so oxidation in peroxisome, it helps in the shortening of the chain length. Yeah, because it is a long chain fatty acid. So oxidation in peroxisome, it will help in the shortening of the chain. Yeah, so for more details you can follow my FB page by the name Nitved Bioscience. Okay, I hope everything is useful to you. If you are finding it useful, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.